Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my November vlog, which I am filming the introduction to in December because I realized that I never filmed an introduction and I need one. So here I am in December filming the introduction for November. That way, when editing me deals with this problem tomorrow, I have something I get to use. So welcome to the vlog and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I'm standing in front of the window and I'm not getting that much light, honestly, because it's dark and dreary out today, but that's okay. Actually, let me try and turn on a light. I have lights in this house, I swear. They're just these weird, like, recessed LEDs. That's for the attic. So, like, they turn me orange. Anyways, yes, today is November 1st. It is the start of a new month. So it's the start of a new vlog. Hopefully I can be more impressive in this vlog than I was in the last. Right now, I am actually going to be listening to some Empire of the Vampire. I think I listened to like the first chapter the other day. I painted for like 5 minutes. No, I think it was like 20 minutes. But anyways, I painted for like a little while, like 2 days ago, while listening to like the first chapter. But I have a lot of work to do in my loft. For the most part, every other like room of the house is together. So I'll have a little bit of work to do in the dining room. The loft is a major project because this room is ginormous. It is like a 20 something by like 20 room. It's huge. And it's like a living room slash office slash soon to be guest room situation. I actually have a Murphy bed being delivered today that I have to clear a wall for, and I have to make sure that my trim is like painted properly because I didn't do it that well last time because I did it like on a step ladder instead of an actual ladder, and I'm only like 5'2". I've got like 9-foot ceilings. So needless to say, the trim is kind of shoddy. So I need to touch it up before the Murphy bed comes today. And I also need to move like the furniture that is in that spot out of the way. So that's what I'm gonna be working on while I listen to Empire of the Vampire. And then, yeah, so this is my loft, which is kind of like the living room of the house, because like the official living room downstairs is actually my library. Got like this little computer area, which is not together at all, and then a half painted wall, and this is like the living room setup with like the TVs and stuff. So right now there's a mattress on the floor because that is the mattress for the Murphy bed, but the kids were using it to watch scary movies last night. So this is my project. I have to paint all of this, and I started it already. It's gonna be like this really deep forest green color, but yeah, that's what we're working on right now. It's kind of the catch-all of all of like the decor and like nerdy stuff, and there's my Legos, and that's like some old furniture from the kids' rooms because they got new furniture. I'm probably gonna refinish it, that dresser and that one. Probably gonna refinish them and use them somewhere else in the house. I haven't decided yet, but the point is the Murphy bed is going on that wall, so I need to clear all of this out and then make sure that my trim is good, because if you notice, it's not because I painted it from below instead of like at eye level where I could actually see where my lines were going. I was just kind of painting and praying. It's a little like janky, so I need to fix that, and I need to like bring that paint color up on that curve and then finish painting that wall. So I mean, it's a long wall, so it's gonna take me a while, but that's kind of what I'm gonna be working on today while I listen to some Empire of the Vampire. So yay. So today I am going out. I shouldn't be going out, but I am going out. It's actually election day in the US, so that's a whole situation in itself. So I've got to go out and vote, but I'm gonna wait until my husband gets home. We're gonna do that together. So we're gonna go out and vote tonight. But in the meanwhile, I'm actually running out to get new glasses. I love my glasses. They're Tiffany & Company, my favorite, but they're like, the frames are probably like 7 years old. So I need to just bite the bullet and go get some new glasses. So I'm going today to go do that. I've already used my insurance for the year on my contacts. So I'm going to go to Costco and get myself some new frames and some new lenses because they're super well priced over there. But I have to go and get my prescription from my old eye doctor and bring it over to Costco where I'm getting my glasses. And can't do two things at the same time, I'm sorry. When I get back, I'm going to be listening to more Empire of the Vampire while I get my loft area situated. All the walls are painted now. Well, most of the walls are painted now. There's still like the really big one that's like supposed to be light green. I haven't painted that yet, but most of them are painted. My bookshelves are up, and now I just need to take all of the junk that's kind of been piled up in that space and put it on the shelves and put it where it belongs. So I'm gonna do that today when we get back from the glasses place. And then tonight is going to be when my husband gets home. We're gonna go vote. And then I'm going to read. I need to read Golden Sun. I've been pushing it off for so freaking long. I just need to pick it up. I know I'm gonna love it. I've had students who have borrowed my editions once I introduced them to the first one, and they absolutely loved it. So I know it's not going to be like bad. I don't know why I'm delaying it. I think part of me is delaying the process, just, I don't know, out of commitment issues, I guess. I'm not sure why. So, Red Rising, right. But I think why I'm actually kind of delaying it right now is because I'm listening to Empire of the Vampire, and not that they have similar plots in the slightest. They don't. They do not have similar plots in the slightest. But just they're both fantasies that have like a male, a very strong, calculating, like hero-y male lead. And I feel like maybe that just might be too much of the same kind of vibe to read at the same time. I might confuse the two, or I might get like burnt out because that's all I'm intaking. So I feel like I need to read something else, something with less action, I guess you can say, while I'm listening to Empire of the Vampire. So I'm going to pick up a different book, and I haven't decided on which one. I don't think I'm going for a rom-com. I think I might go for one of the like gothic fantasies I've been wanting to read. Although that's also the same vibe as, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm gonna read. But I do know that I need to read something. So I'm gonna go through and pick something that I can kind of inhale. I really want to read The Hemlock Queen, but I need to find like what's the word? I need to find like a recap of the story, because I do not remember in the slightest what that one is about. Like the Foxglove King, I don't remember it at all. So there's times where I'm like, okay, I remember the main plot, I remember how it ends. I don't remember like character names or like how events went, but I remember like key parts. I don't remember what any of the story is, so I at least need something to remind me what the story is to see if I need to reread it. And if I need to reread it, then I think I'm just gonna shelf it for a while, because I'm already rereading too much to pick up where I left off on things. And I'm just gonna repeat a year that I already had if I just keep doing rereads and not like move on to the next one. So the other one that I was thinking about reading was Long Live Evil. That one looked really cute. Or the Something Heart Monster's Heart. I can't remember what the full title is, but it's like something Monster's Heart. So I might pick up one of those instead. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, what mood I'm in tonight. You know, tonight's one of those nights here in America that you're like, well, we don't know what's gonna happen next. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So, you know, everybody out there who's not in the US, wish us luck, please. To everyone else in the US, we're in this together, guys. Just hope for the best. So yeah, that's where I'm at. As far as an update on Empire of the Vampire and where I'm at, it is, I actually need to get my eyelashes redone. I know that's random, but I'm sorry. I don't have any naturally. I bought these and I need to go back to my girl and get them filled. But anyways, so update on Empire. The Vampire, I'm a little over halfway through. The story. I didn't forget as much as I thought I did. It's all like coming back to me now as I'm listening to it. So I'm able to predict kind of like what is gonna happen next. Obviously I don't remember like the details of certain battles and like the order of things. That book is hard for order anyways because it is so out of order. The way that Gabriel tells his stories are not linear. He kind of jumps around throughout his history. And for those who don't know, Empire of the Vampire is told in like an interview kind of situation, kind of like Interview with a Vampire, where the main character, Gabriel de Leon, is recapping his life story to a vampire historian who is basically like, he's captured by the queen of the one of the queens of one of the houses of the vampires. And he's just kind of recapping his story for the historian to write down. So the story isn't really told linearly, like it jumps around from his childhood to like battles later in life after he's lost his faith. Then it goes back to like, you know, how he met his wife, and there's just a bunch of stuff. It hops around time-wise. So for me to try and remember what order they went in the story was difficult, but now it's starting to pick back up. So I'm really enjoying the listen, and I am excited to, sorry, I'm doing my eyeliner. I'm excited to start the sequel. And I mean, I'm excited, but I'm also scared because of how thick it is. Like, it is a thick boy. The American edition of the story does not, of the sequel, the American edition of the sequel is only like normal, like book size, but it's because it's made out of freaking Bible paper or something. Like, it is so thin, the sheets, to fit that many pages, because the UK versions, if you look at them, they're both thick. They're both like that thick. The American one, it's so weird. They made it small, and I assume that they did that to attract readers because the thickness of it is pretty intimidating. But it makes my American editions look dumb, that one is like super thick and one is really thin. But whatever, I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. The cookie crumbles, why did I even say that? So I know how many pages it is, which is why it's intimidating, but I think I'll be okay. I'm actually gonna read it on Kindle. I have the Kindle version of it, as well as like 3 or 4 like actual physical editions, but my husband only reads on Kindle, so I had the Kindle edition, so I'll probably read on that, and I can fly through a book pretty quickly on Kindle comparatively to a physical book. I prefer the physical books, but it is just easier on a Kindle, so I'll probably read on that and see how it goes. But that's where I'm at today. I'm just trying to get stuff done. I feel like I never have enough time in the day. I didn't get to read yesterday at all because I was spending time with my in-laws. The kids have been home for the past 2 days because they don't go back to school until after the election. And yeah, that's just kind of been everything. So wish me luck today. And hopefully when I get back, I'll actually get some stuff done. So, all right, check in with you later. I need more eyeliner. I'm drying out, which is causing me to have difficulty making wings. So I need to get a new eyeliner. All right, time to go adventuring. Oh, I look tired. Do I look tired? I look tired. Maybe I should have put the eye mask thingies on. That's all right. If this doesn't work, if I look ugly, we just cut it out. Okay, bye. No, come on, sir. My dear sweet husband who's editing my video for me. Do you see what he's trying to do to my thumbnail? He's trying to make it look like I'm going to the club in 2009. Like, that's not what I look like. I'm not that tan. And my lips, what? Put it back to the way it's supposed to be.
Let me see real quick.
how I actually look. Go ahead, click it. Click it. No, click it.
First of all, I never changed your color.
Do you see? Do you see what he's doing to me?
That is your color.
I am not that tan. Watch.
You are that tan.
No, I'm not.
You are that tan. Watch.
Okay.
The only thing that changes.
No, go ahead. Change it. Okay.
This stays the same. The only thing that changes is lightens your eyes and your lips.
Making it look like you got concealer on your lips.
Yo. Yes. This madness.
You are the same color.
Change it. This is not. Okay. Leave me the way that I'm supposed to be. Not whatever madness you're trying to come up with. No. Oh, Jesus. I love you, boogies. But no. So, quick update. It is election night in the US. So, hi, baby. It's a cat. Anyways, so we are waiting to see the results. I am avoiding looking at the polls, or rather looking at the results like the plague, because I just don't want to know. Not until tomorrow, because all of the waiting and stress is giving me anxiety, and I can't really take it. So today I didn't get very much reading done. I was going to listen to Empire of the Vampire. I reorganized my loft area, but the kids were actually helping me do it since they were off today for election day. So I did not listen to Empire of the Vampire because there are some scenes in that book that are not appropriate for children. So I didn't want to have that on speakerphone while we were moving around Lego sets and the Funko Pops. So I didn't listen to any of that. And then I went to get new glasses, which I'm super excited for, but at the same time I'm scared. These frames I've had for like 7 years or something like that, and I love them, but they're clearly out of style and everyone tells me this. So I got new ones. They're the rounder ones. We'll see how they look. I'm kind of afraid of them just because I've been wearing this style for, I don't know, 30 years. So we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, I'm just waiting until bedtime, so I'm going to pick up Golden Sun. I'm actually going to start it. I hope that I don't like fall asleep or something in the process, but this is my goal, is to get some reading done with this tonight to kind of keep my mind off of what the results are going to be. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Unproductive as usual. Well, no, super productive. I've been super productive. I've been completely and utterly unproductive when it comes to reading. So tomorrow I have foam board coming, like cork board almost, but it's felt, and I ordered it on Amazon. They're in tiles and they stick on material, so I'm actually going to stick it on the back of those bookcases that are in the loft. I also have like a dividing screen coming that's just going to sit in the corner until a guest comes, but then it'll be able to block off like the Murphy bed area. What else? I've got another book coming tomorrow. I ordered Malice by Gwynne. Becca from Becca in the Books is doing a catch-up book club, and it is for Gwynne series. So we're doing Malice as the first one. So I ordered that, and the read is supposed to be from November through December. And I think there'll be a live show at like the end of December, beginning of January. So I grabbed that up so I can add it to my reading pile. My father-in-law is actually going to be reading it with me. He loves high fantasy, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna be reading this. Maybe you want to buddy read it with me. So he's gonna start reading it too, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm super excited about that. I'm not sure what else I have to update you guys on other than that. So I'm gonna sign off for now, get some reading done, get some rest, and tomorrow starts a new day. Yay. Alright, so I actually just wanted to take a brief pause from filming other videos to go over a quick book haul. We know my book haul and my buying obsession, but I just wanted to go over a couple of books that I picked up and the reasons why I picked them up and where I got them from. So first book I'm going to go over, I just got last night, and it's actually Malice by Gwynne. This one I picked up for Catch-Up Book Club, which it's hosted by a bunch of other YouTubers. The links for their channels will be in the description box below. But not only am I reading this for that, but I'm also reading it with my husband and my father-in-law. My husband's stepdad is wanting to get back into reading, and he was recommending some books from when he was younger, and I was like, you know what, I think this one might interest you. And when my husband, he's seen it in Barnes & Noble multiple times, and he's like, I want to read this. It just looks good. He has no idea what it's about. So just so you guys know as well, it is a high fantasy male protagonist. We have basically a battle between the light and dark, angels and demons. There's war, and we follow a main character. I think his name is Corbin. Yeah, Corbin. Corbin is one of the main protagonists in the story. He's a young boy who's training to become a warrior to fight in the impending battles that they believe are coming. There's prophecies and signs that a great battle between the light and the dark is upon them. The giants, whom were eradicated years ago, seem to be rising up again, so it follows his story. So I'm going to be reading this one again for Catch Up Book Club, as well as with my husband and my father-in-law. Next was actually these two books. I got them on Amazon on sale because actually buying them at Barnes & Noble was a little pricey. I think they're like 30 something dollars. So this one's 32 and this one's 33. I heard great things about this book, A Song to Drown Rivers To by Anne Liang. It's a beautiful edition, and I mean, I heard it was great, so I picked it up. I wanted it. I got it on Amazon. This one, I'm not 100% sure on. It's a Red Tower book, and if we are to be honest with each other, Red Tower is hit and miss. Red Tower did Fourth Wing, which was really great. You know, it's popular, everybody loves it. I enjoyed it very much. It's also done like Ruhn and the Holly Library. I liked that one. There's a few others, but then there's some that are just not good. Definitely, goodness, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was one of the Red Tower books that came out after Fourth Wing. It had like yellow and black sprayed edges. It was about a demon trapped in like a human body and a girl who was a gypsy, but she was a psychic, and she saw him coming, and he was a part of the group of like demons sent out by an evil queen that killed the last of her people off, and she's the only one there. And it was a strange book, and it was not good. Like, it was not good. I can't remember the name of it. I will find it at some point and put it up on the screen, but it was not good. So again, the books from Red Tower are kind of hit and miss, and I didn't want to spend $33 on a book that wasn't going to be good. I haven't heard anything about it. This one was delayed so many times, so I'm not entirely sure. But Amazon did have a sale, so I ended up picking up these two books for $30 total instead of $30 each. I think it was like buy one, get one 50% off, and then I had like another gift card or something. I ended up only paying like $30 for both of them. Now, the downfall of ordering things from Amazon is they just like to throw books in boxes without any care in the world. So like this one's all banged up on the spine. It actually came crunched, and I've flattened it out since. So I wouldn't recommend Amazon for books, but sometimes you just have to for the cost comparison. Another book that I picked up, I just saw it, to be honest with you, at Barnes & Noble, and it sounded really good. I think I got it the day that it released. I went in to get something. Oh, this set that I'm tapping below. I went in to get another book, and I saw this one, and I was like, this looks really good. She's a woman. She is working at a university, and she's given an assistant, but instead of an assistant, she's given a janitor, but then the janitor ends up having like great abilities. Like, they underestimate him, and he ends up being really great, and then they do something together. I can't recall exactly what they do, but it sounded really good. My memory is trash, but that's okay, because then it's always a lovely surprise when I pick up a book and I'm like, oh, that's great, because I don't know what it is going in. So I did get this one. It is Blood Over Brighthaven by L.M. Wang, so I'm super excited to read that one at some point. And then my last book that I got, technically books that I got for this haul, is the Stephanie Garber Carval box set. She just released all of the books to match Spectacular, which just came out, and this is the box set, a limited edition box set with the sprayed edges, the holiday collection. So this is actually my first time opening this, and they all come with red sprayed edges. So this is Spectacular, which has same end papers as the Barnes & Noble edition. It's got a little snowflake there, which is super cute. This would be, I guess, I don't know if this would be considered the standard edition because it's like a sprayed edges. I'm not sure. There's your end papers. This book has a lot of like little art features and stuff inside, which is really pretty. It's just a Christmas story. It's really short. It follows the Carval characters, but around Christmas. So then we have Finale. I'm doing this backwards. And it's got the same end papers as the other one, Legendary, which is my favorite of the series. And again, same thing. So I think that's common throughout. And they all have the snowflakes. So they're all basically the same here, and then we have Carvel. So that is my little mini haul, just to kind of show you guys what I bought recently. Yeah, so I also still have to film my October unboxing. My Fairy Loot YA is finally showing up, so I've got a good healthy stack of books to film today for the unboxing. I'm also gonna do my November TBR. I did a November TBR already, but I wasn't entirely prepared for it. So I was like, oh, well, I kind of feel like reading this, which, as my channel is about mood reading, is probably a good idea, but there's some other things that I think I might be more in the mood for. So I'm gonna film that. And then that's about it. I really don't know if I should put these back in the box, or if, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm gonna put these on the box. I think I'm gonna put them up as they are. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. This that I'll put up there. And then I have this clock, which this clock is actually the Night Circus clock, but I didn't have a spot for it. So I put it up at the Carvel shelf, but I might take it down. I don't know. And that seems kind of off center, so I'm gonna have to shift everything over that way. All right, let me do this real quick. Hold on. Okay, that looks better. I know I'm going through all of this trouble when literally, like, tomorrow I'm gonna be adding another 5 books, but that's okay, because I get the general gist of what it's supposed to look like. So now I just need to find a spot for that clock, which I don't think I have room over here on this shelf. Maybe, yeah, I guess, kind of. It works. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. It'll stay there for now until I find a better home for it. Okay. Excuse the random noises in the background. That could possibly be you hearing my washing machine going. We have a puppy, and he's still not old enough to make it through the night. So we have like washable pee pads down in his crate when he's sleeping. So I have to wash them like every day. I think I probably need to buy more because 2 is not enough. I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. Okay. So today I gotta go get my eyelashes refilled because I have no eyelashes. So I get eyelash extensions. So I'm gonna go see my girl and get my eyelashes done today. I'm probably gonna make a trip to Barnes & Noble just because I'm gonna be right across the street from it. So I might as well. I really need to slow down because I'm poor, but I want to anyways. And then I'm gonna be working on the house some more. I want to get as much of it done as I possibly can, in certain areas at least, because I would like to put my Christmas trees up soon. I want to have all of that done. I've got friends coming for Thanksgiving, so we're old, so our friends come for Thanksgiving, and my husband and I and the kids, obviously. We have the most family-friendly, I guess, house for it all to occur in. Most of our friends, all except for one other couple, don't have children, they're not married, that sort of a situation. So our house is where everyone gathers. So I've got friends coming from all over the country. There's probably gonna be about 10 or 11 people, hopefully 11, but there's gonna be a lot of people at my house. So I wanna get everything all like decorated and nice and finished before Thanksgiving, so I'm on a time crunch. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'll listen to my audiobook while I'm getting all of that done. Probably also while I'm getting my eyelashes done, just because I have to sit there with my eyes closed. So I'll put one earbud in and listen. So I have to charge up my AirPods before I go. I started Malice last night. I made it through the prologue and then kind of like another prologue after, and I'm in chapter 2. I was going to read until the end of chapter 2, but my husband finished all of chapter 2 and then he was ready for bed. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll put it down and I'll pick it up tomorrow. Hello, kitty. Sorry. Hey, kitty, wanted to say hi. This is Ruhn. He's our baby. He's a year old. He is not a baby, but he is a baby. And he acts like a baby, but he's all chunkers. These are chunkers. Anyways, so I'm probably going to read some more of that later tonight when I get back. Try and get as much done. Really, I've got 2 months to read it, so I'm not like in that huge of a rush. So technically, if I wanted to read like 10 pages a day, I could accomplish it, but because I'm starting it so late, I need to catch up a little bit. So I'm hoping to at least get to like around the 100-page mark by the end of the day. Maybe a little bit more, just because this weekend I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing. I might not find time to read. Oh, my Chunky's at his favorite spot, the food. It's his favorite spot, the food. But anyways, so, my tripod fell. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I also want to read some Golden Sun because I'm still only on like page 4, but I will probably do that tomorrow. Just kind of devote as much of my day to reading that tomorrow. But anyways, here's an update on the house situation if anybody's following that. All right, so you can hear the washing machine going crazy, and I apologize, but this is the room so far. It's still a mess. I still have stuff everywhere, but this is the paint color that we chose. It's a dark green, and I got a light green on this wall to kind of counteract it. I still haven't done this area. This is gonna be like a charcoal gray and blue, just because the color schemes for our gaming PCs, they light up rainbow, the PCs. So I wanted to kind of have it like a dark color so nothing really clashed too much. We have that light color so that the light reflects off from the windows and doesn't make the room too dark, but you can kind of see how it's going. I built this wall of bookshelves, which right now are just kind of holding Legos and other random home decor. Eventually, there will come a time where I have to fill that with books, but it's probably not going to be for a really long time. We've got our Murphy bed for when our guests stay and a dresser. So this is the office area for the kids so they can do their homework and stuff like that. I've got this felt material in squares that actually turns it into a cork board sort of situation that I'm putting on the back of the bookcases to hide that ugly cardboard. So I think that looks pretty nice. I've got more squares I gotta put up, and I think I didn't buy enough, so I'm probably gonna have to put in another order for them, but I'm gonna put the rest that I have up today. And then I've got all of my Christmas stuff. The kids are getting a Christmas tree in each one of the rooms this year, and that dresser and nightstand are finding somewhere else to live. But that's what we have going on today. Oop, that's bright. So this is what I'm gonna be working on this afternoon until I go for my lash appointment. I'm probably not gonna paint any today. I'm just gonna work on moving stuff around. So that is my plan for today, and we'll see how it goes. See how much listening I can get done while I do this. Wish me luck. So now I got to my lash appointment early. I'm still trying to figure out the drive time situation. I still go to the same lash place that I did when I lived at my old house, just because like I've been going there for years. And so I left thinking maybe there would be traffic, and there wasn't any. So I got here early, so now I'm going to sit in my car and listen to more Empire of the Vampire. I thought that I was farther along than I was, because I've got like 15 hours, and it was like a 30-hour long book, but it's not. It's a 27-hour long book, and I've got 15 hours left, so I'm just under halfway there instead of just over halfway. I couldn't remember where in the story I was. Again, the story is hard to follow. Or rather not follow. It's hard to know exactly where you are because it doesn't follow linearly. So I thought I was farther along than I was, but I'm not. I forgot that like he takes a break from talking about like how he met his wife and then goes back to telling more stories about the Grail. So Empire of the Vampire follows Gabriel de Leon, which is a silver saint. He's basically a half vampire, half human who becomes a warrior, a knight for the church, basically, to fight the vampires. And it's told in like an interview with a vampire style way where a vampire is interviewing him and he's telling like his history, and it jumps around like how he became a Silver Saint to the Grail, which is supposedly a prophecy that a Grail will be found and it will help end the like forever night that's happening, which is why vampires have been able to take over. So the war is going on. It's been going on for years. I think we're at like 2 decades in this part of the story that I'm listening to. He's older and he's helping one of his friends from back in the day, helping her get to safety, I guess, with this information about the Grail. So that's kind of where we're at. And I thought I was farther along because the last book was talking about his wife, and I know that he saves all of the stuff about his wife until the end of the book. So I was just mistaken. I guess there was that middle piece, but it makes sense because we haven't seen his sister yet. So that's a big one, but it's very good. I love this book. I absolutely love J. Kristoff's writing style in this book. So I'm just going to listen to it for a little bit and then go into my appointment. And since I'm getting my lashes done, I can listen to it some more. I'm also like right across the street from Barnes & Noble. I don't have enough time to actually go into the Barnes & Noble right now before my appointment. I have like 25 minutes before my appointment starts. And that is clearly not enough time for Barnes & Noble. So I will go after and see what I can find. I know that there's Carrie Maniscalco's new book just came out. I was gonna get it last time, but I picked up a different book instead. So I think I might get it today and see if there's anything else new that came out. But anyways, I'll see you guys in a little bit when I have some pretty new eyelashes. Back in the car and my eyelashes are done, looking super fresh. Time to go across the street to Barnes & Noble. It actually got really cloudy out, so I don't know if a storm is coming. I love cloudy weather. It makes me happy. The only kicker is driving in it is dangerous as hell because people don't know how to drive out here when it rains. So that's fun. Anyways, to Barnes & Noble I go. So I just got back from Barnes & Noble. I got one book, just one book. I still have 2 books that I wanted, but one of them is actually one of the Book of the Month books. Right now it's one of the options, so I figured instead of paying the $30 retail for the book that I would just get it from Book of the Month. I used one of my credits for it. But the book that I did pick up was Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the second book in her like adult romance series. So it's set in the same world as Kingdom of the Wicked, which is a YA. Well, the first book is YA. The second and third book are more new adult. I still haven't read the third book because she just kind of like, I loved the first book. Second book was good. I wasn't a fan of how she went so far with the like spice. And then the third book just seems like she kind of like lost her plan with the plot. So I like started it and I never finished it. I will eventually finish it. But anyway, so she started a new series set in the same world. It is an adult romance series. I keep looking at it. It's like up there in the corner. It's an adult romance series and it follows the Princes of Hell. I don't know what that sound was. Was that the dog talking? I don't know. But anyways, so this is the second book in the series. It is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So it's got a different color on the cover. It's got a map, and then there's really nothing else unique about it. It might have bonus content. I'm not 100% sure. Let's take a look in the back and see. Yes, so we have bonus content in the back. It's a deleted scene. So I picked that one up, and then while I was out, I actually had a delivery, so I came home to a lovely surprise, and it is the UK Carval Christmas set. So Stephanie Garber released Carval again to match Spectacular, and there's different sets. And this is the one from the UK, which is absolutely gorgeous. I tried to get it from Waterstones, but they said that they couldn't ship it to the US. So I ended up getting it from Amazon UK. Just a tidbit, in case you guys didn't know, Amazon UK ships to the US as well. Shipping is extremely expensive. I think this set is like 75 pounds, which would be like $90. But I ended up paying like 130 because of the shipping costs. So each one of these is supposed to have a hidden cover underneath. All of the UK books that Stephanie Garber does, her publisher in the UK, does hidden covers underneath the dust jacket. And there's like usually 4 different covers that you can get. So these are supposed to have it. They're sprayed edges and they're just super gorgeous. I love UK editions like so much. Kind of makes me jealous that in the US we end up with not as pretty covers, but it's not always the case. There is a few instances where I like the US covers better, but generally speaking, I like the UK covers better. But this is the hidden foil underneath. It's a clock shop. Okay, so I think they're probably all different buildings inside of the town. I don't know if there's 4 total, 1 for each book, or if there's like 4 for each book, making it 16. I'm not 100% legendary. My favorite, this one is my favorite. So good. End papers and them are all the same. Let's see what we have. Okay, so this is the jail. All right. And then we have Finale, which is super pretty. The spines are so gorgeous. And they're all red sprayed edges. And then we have a gambling den. Okay. Gambling den, interesting. And then the last is a toy shop, which is super cute. So I've got all of these. And this box that they came in is a lot prettier than the one the US books came in. So even though like I separate, like I have all my Carvals, all my legendaries, all my, well, it'll be all my Carvals, all my legendaries, and all my finales, and then my spectaculars on the side. I kind of want to like group them now by like, I don't even know. That wouldn't work though, because I have, so let me show you guys. So we've got my Carval books. Let me see if I can get the lighting a little bit brighter. So we have my Carval books. So you'll see I have the special edition or the like collector's edition Carval. Can we get that to focus better? Then I have the American edition of Carval. Can we focus? Focus. There we go. So then I have the American edition of Carval. I have the UK edition with the hidden covers. Then I have the American Christmas edition. Okay, so those are fine, except that one. That one's gonna stand out, but that one usually does. Then I've got American and British and that. But then when you get to Finale, this is where it gets complicated, because I have like the American edition, then I have the Waterstones edition, then I have the Owl Crate edition, and then I have the Tesco, no, that's the Tesco edition. Then I had, that's a Fairy Loot edition. So I've got like additional copies of Finale. So if I stacked them, like all the American standards, all the British standards, all the American Christmas, all the British Christmas, then I would still have like these 2 left over that I wouldn't have anywhere to put. And then like where would my spectaculars go? Because I would have like the Owl Crate one that wouldn't be able to go anywhere. I have a Waterstones exclusive, which I guess I can put with the British one. It would just be like the Owl Crate, the Fairy Loot, and the Owl Crate would just stand out. Like I wouldn't be able to put them with anything else. So I've done them like this. If we go over to my Once Upon a Broken Heart shelf, you can see that I've grouped them like these are the ones that have the pre-order covers, these are the Fairy Loot, these are the Owl Crate, these are the Fae Crate, these are Barnes & Noble, and then those are Waterstones. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to see what to do. But so as it sits, I'm still deciding on how to shelve these. But I will save the boxes. I'll probably put the boxes like in the top of my closet to see if I end up using them. This one's a little bent, like the plastic was too tight on it. But considering it came all the way from England, it was in pretty good condition, so not too terrible. But I'll end up putting this in my closet and just kind of hanging on to it. Yeah. So. Okay, so just to give you a little reading update, let's see, where am I at on everything? So I'm reading Malice. I also am listening to my reread of Empire the Vampire. I know I have too many editions of this book that I'm showing you a different one every time we come through. Technically, I'm reading Golden Sun, but we know how that's going. And then I also picked up Castle of the Cursed, I believe. Yeah, Castle of the Cursed. This was a Owl Crate edition. It's super pretty, which is why I have the case on it. I didn't want to like get grubby fingerprints on it, so I put one of my book jackets on it. It's just all of these three are like, there's a lot of testosterone going on, so I figured I would pick up something to read to that had a female main character. So just kind of break things up a little bit because, yeah. So as far as Empire the Vampire goes, I am on page 562 out of, I think, 700 and something. 733, no, 734. And I forgot, I grabbed this edition, I forgot how beautiful, like, the illustrated pictures are inside of this book. Like, they're absolutely stunning. And I actually have, so the Italian version of this came with a full color art book of all of those drawings, and I also have that one. I'll probably pull it out at some point and record some images from it, but I forgot how stunning these were. So I'm 562 pages in out of 730 something, and I mean, it's great. I forgot a lot of the details, like about betrayal in the order, just, you know, just key points. And I'm happy that I'm rereading it because now I remember, not only do I remember names, because I forget names so terribly, but I'm starting to pick up on the key points. I'm almost done. Not almost, there's still 200 something pages left, but I mean, for a book that thick, that's almost done. I do not read at like 2 times speed or 3 times speed like a lot of people do. I like the sound of the narrator's voice at normal speed, so that's why it's taking me so long. I think it was like a 27 or 28 hour book, but I've been listening to it as I'm just getting stuff done, and I enjoy it just as much as I did before. Gabriel he's an anti-hero, so he's gonna save the day, and he's gonna do the right thing, but in that same respect, he's not the guy who's gonna, like, you know, he's very self-sacrificing, right? So he will destroy himself, he'll do anything for the ones he loves, but he's not going to like watch his loved ones die to save the world. He's already had enough of that. Really, he doesn't have much left. By the time the present aspect of the story is going, more or less, he's lost almost everyone he's ever cared about, and that's one of the main reasons why he lost his faith in the story. But yeah, he's definitely an anti-hero character, and I love a good anti-hero. So I'm completely vibing with this. Vibing with it so much that I've been listening. Normally I just listen to an audiobook when I'm like working and I can't, you know, like I'm doing something with my hands, so I can't hold a book, like I'm painting or cleaning or whatever. I sat like this morning in bed doing absolutely nothing, just listening to this book because it's at that good part where I just want to listen to it. So that's kind of where I've been spending most of my time, is listening to that so that I can finish it off. The unfortunate thing is I'll probably go right into the next book, which is just gonna kill me because it's the American edition is not as thick, but it's as many pages. They use like Bible paper for it or something. Next is my read of Malice. I only read this at night with my husband, so we're keeping pace with each other. So when he comes to bed, we read a little bit before bed. So I haven't gotten very far. I'm on page 81, chapter 10. I am annotating this one, which I normally do not do. I'm not a fan of writing in books, to be honest with you. The only books I ever wrote in were like my textbooks for college. I did annotate those because I'm not much of a note taker. My notes are the annotations. So most of the time, my college books were I have a degree in history, so most of the time my readings were PDFs and stuff like that because, you know, the original primary sources were historical documents, and we can't really write on those or even hold them, to be honest with you. So a lot of them were PDFs, and it was fine writing on that, but the occasional time I did have a book, I would annotate it, especially when I took like English courses and stuff. So I am annotating this one. The Castle of the Cursed. I've got company. So far with Malice, I'm 80 pages in, and obviously it's the setup of the world. There's not too much going on. We are learning about the structure of the world, the political system, the different kingdoms, what the magic of this world kind of is. It's very angels and demons, right? There is witchcraft and curses and summoning, but it all seems to be based on like a sort of heaven and hell. They call it the other world, but there is a character, Azra, who seems very devilish, and then you have the creator sort of a situation. So it's very demons and angels sort of a situation. The one thing that I'm not liking about it so far is the amount of perspectives. I don't know if all of these perspectives are going to remain constant, but there are a lot of perspectives. Now I understand that there are several kingdoms in this book, so we have to at least have perspective from each of the kingdoms to give us an idea of what's going on in each of those before they kind of band together. But there are way more perspectives than that. There's several perspectives per kingdom sometimes, and it's a lot to keep track of. I'm hoping that as I go through, these perspectives will become more normalized to me, so I won't be so, who is this? I'm making notes at the top next to each person's name of who they are. That way, if I need to go back and be like, oh yeah, who is that again? I can keep track of who they are and what kingdom they're from. The other book that I was reading, I'm only on chapter 2. I just started it for a little bit last night. It was after dinner and all of my stuff was done before my husband came to bed. He was gaming for a little bit, and that's my new thing. He was gaming for a little bit, and I just decided to pick it up and read it. So I read the prologue and chapter 1. I'm on page 10, like I'm not very far at all. But it seems to follow a young girl. Her parents never kept her in one place. Like she was never raised in like a normal household. They were more like travelers. They were subletting an apartment in New York at the moment when they disappeared. So she was on a subway train and this weird smoke was appearing out of the corner of her eye, and she diagnosed herself and thought that she was just getting some sort of ocular migraine or something. And then magically, everyone in the train car along with her becomes frozen and dies, except for her. So that's kind of the start of the book. From that, she moves to Spain to live with an aunt that she's never met, some distant relative. And that's kind of where we're at, is she just got to Spain and she's driving in the car. Her heritage is Spanish, but she doesn't know it. Her parents spoke Spanish to kind of keep secrets from her, it seems. You know how parents kind of like talk when the kids don't know? That's what it seems to be so far with her. So as she's in Spain, people are talking to her and she has no idea what's going on. She's just like smiling and nodding kind of a thing. Based on inflection, she knows whether to respond or not. So that's where we're at. I'll probably pick up more of this later on, but I wonder if you can hear my washing machine going in the background. I might have to re-record this. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, so that's what we're reading for right now. And then Golden Sun, I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it at all. I'm still on page 4. What I'm probably gonna do, to be honest with you, is when I finish listening to Empire of the Vampire, I'm probably going to grab the audiobook for this and listen to this while I read along, just to kind of get my focus, because for some reason the vibe has changed so drastically from the end of the last book, because the end of Red Rising, the latter half, is very fantasy, right? It's got, well, no, I lied, it's sci-fi. So the very end of the book, when they have their space boots and all of that, it's sci-fi, but for the most part, it's a very fantasy plot. So they're in these trials, they're in the woods, there's castles, there's weapons, there's sieges. It's very fantasy, like they're on the ground looking for food and hunting and wearing wolf cloaks and that sort of thing. So jumping into this right off the bat, and it's, oh, they're in space, they're on a ship. It's very jarring. So I feel like I need to just take the time to sit and get into it. And with so many other fantasy books that I'm reading, the sci-fi should be a good like breakup of it, but I don't know. I just have to get myself to get into it. So I might start listening to the audiobook and read along with it, or just tell myself I need to sit down and tough it out and just, I can't stop until I read at least 5 chapters. Once I get going, it'll be fine. It just pulled me out really when I got to it and they were in space. So yeah, but that's where I'm at. I'm gonna go run some errands. I'm on a quest to try and find Mountain Dew with World of Warcraft codes for my husband and his best friend. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, driving around today looking for Mountain Dew. So wish me luck, and I'll check back in later. So actually my soup is boiling. I'm making chicken and dumpling soup. I am in the South, but I don't make like Southern chicken and dumplings because that's more just like a thick situation. This is like an actual soup. It's like chicken soup but with dumplings. But anyways, side note, I wanted to point out that I got my new glasses. They finally came in. They came in on Saturday, so I picked them up, but I don't film or do anything on Saturday because the family is home. But once dinner is over, I'm probably going to read more of the Castle of the Cursed. No, I lied. I was planning on reading more Castle of the Cursed, but then my husband just informed me that I have to read more Malice because while he was at work, he had a lull at work and he decided that he was going to read. So now he's ahead of me and we're supposed to be keeping pace with each other. So I have some catching up to do. What chapter are you on?
I think 12.
Okay, so it's only 2 chapters, so that's not a big deal because I'm on chapter 10. So 2 more chapters. I guess I can read Castle of the Cursed, and then maybe like, I don't know, 30 minutes before he's coming to bed, I can start Malice so I can catch up. Generally speaking, I read quicker than he does, but right now since I'm annotating, that takes up some extra time. So he usually is ahead of me and I'm having to catch up, but he goes to bed before I do. So that's okay. So that's gonna be my plan for the evening after dinner. Yeah, he's not on chapter 12, he's on chapter 16. I have a lot of reading to do, so I'm gonna be reading Malice after dinner, but that's okay. I can't be mad that he's reading. It makes me happy. The English teacher inside of me is swelling with joy. I don't like Castell.
Castell's the whiny one?
Yeah, where everyone's out to get him.
Oh, he gets better. He gets put in his place.
I mean, he did get put in his place already. Like
He swaps it up.
Manquin.
Man.
Manquin.
Man.
McQuinn.
That sounds like
Macquin?
probably Macwin.
But there's no K.
The Q makes it
Qua. Macquin. McQuinn.
McQuinn.
Manquin.
Man.
Mannequin. But I don't like. He put him in his place already. He was like, "You need to stop acting like a brat." And he went and apologized to the dude. I don't know if he gets even better still or.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very, very, very short asshole arc.
Okay.
Like very short.
Because he annoyed me.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of redemption. He's only going to get better. You can tell by the end of his story.
The end of his story. End of what you've read up to.
Yeah. End of what you've read up to.
Alright, so just a quick update. I'm in my jammies. I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere today, so I didn't feel like getting dressed. But I did finish Empire of the Vampire, the audiobook. I was painting my dining room and putting up the Christmas tree in there. So I just was listening to it. I only had like 2 hours left when I stopped the other night to go to Target for Christmas decorations. But I did finish it today. It is just as good as I remember it. There are some things that I wasn't clear about the first time, or at least I don't remember if I was clear about it, but listening to the audiobook the second time around definitely cleared up some misconceptions that I remembered. One, mainly the timeline of things, as well as like the idea, for some strange reason, like in this book, when Gabriel is talking to the vampire that's interviewing him, he frequently refers to him as the one who slayed the Forever King. So like the king of the vampires, kind of. He's the king of one family of vampires, the Vosses. For some strange reason, I thought that this book covers Gabriel slaying the Forever King, but it doesn't. He does kill some high blood vampires in the story. So like some older, more prestigiously named vicious creatures, but he doesn't kill the Forever King. So I think that probably coming in later books, but I don't know why the first time I read it, I thought that it was the Forever King that he kills this. It's not. There's also like some more interesting things about like his family backstory, and there's one very strange character who shows up. I can't really tell you who she is without giving it away, but just a reminder of who she was. I wasn't sure. Like, I knew that she could possibly be related to him. We're gonna leave that part out. So there's just a lot in this that triggered my memory, which was really good because, again, this is a great, absolutely great story. The vampires in this are legit vampires. Like, they are vicious, evil things. Like, you know, they'll kill every baby in a village and bathe in their blood, and like just horrible, terrible things. Like, they're not the good, redeemable sort of vampires. It's not one of those things where, oh, terrible history, but they end up being a decent person. No, the vampires are evil, and Gabriel de Leon is there to kill them. It's a really good story. But I'm super excited to get into the sequel, but obviously I need to catch up on some things. The dogs, sorry. I need to catch up on some things before I dive into the next one. So I've been saying that I'm going to read Golden Sun for like a couple months now. Well, like a month. It's been like a month, but it's been the past 2 months. I've been like, I'm gonna read Golden Sun. It's like mid-November now, and this is the only book that I've gotten through. I am so shameful. It's not even funny. I'm struggling, but in all fairness, I've been doing a lot. Like, I don't listen to my audiobooks on double speed. I listen to them on regular speed. And so I've been getting a lot of audiobook done. That was like 27 hours of audiobook. But I haven't actually been physically reading a lot because I have just been doing so much. Like, I've been painting. I painted like so much of my house. I started decorating for Christmas. I've been preparing stuff for Thanksgiving. We have like, I think 7 friends coming from like all over the country for Thanksgiving. They're our gaming friends. We're gamers, and my husband and I, and they've been our friends for like decades. They're gonna be coming in. So I've just been doing like a lot of prep for like the house, getting it ready, Thanksgiving. I think after Thanksgiving, my dad is gonna be coming to visit and staying with us for like a month. There's just like a lot going on and a lot of prep. So I've been getting a lot done. I've been very productive in my life, very unproductive with my reading. So my next thing, since audiobooks seem to be kind of what's keeping me going right now with the reading, just because I've been doing so much, I'm going to start listening to Golden Sun. My goal, again, since I don't do as well listening to a book the first time around, is I'm going to read while listening to it. So I'm gonna read the physical book while the audio is playing. That way, like if I get up and I'm like going to do something, I can still listen to it, even though the book is down, and then I can like pick it back up where it was, and then I can kind of scan back through if I missed anything. So that's gonna be my game plan. In the past 2 weeks, like my house has gone through a drastic transformation. Like, I'm actually getting projects done. It's kind of crazy. I blame the books. Like, I work better when I'm listening to a book, which is nutty. So the news, I'm sick, of course. That's the life of having children. They bring lovely germs home for us to partake in. Excuse me. Anyways, so over the weekend, I don't generally read a lot over the weekend, so I didn't read a lot. I'm usually running around doing things, but I was actually able, before the sickness hit me so hard that I am now in my bed feeling like death, I actually was able to get up all of my Christmas decorations and my Christmas trees, which is a process. Like, it's a process. There's 6 trees. 4 of them are small, technically. 3 of them are 4 feet. 1 of them is 5 foot. And then I've got a 7.5 foot and a 9 foot. They all have a different theme. The little ones, the 3 little ones are in my kids' rooms. They each have one in their room. And then I've got one in my living room. Then I've got one in my library, and I've got one in my dining room. And they all have different themes. So while I'm not feeling well, when my husband gets home, I'll tell him to, I'll ask him to go record the room is finished and all the decorating done. So you can see all of my hard work, which was why I hadn't been reading. I do a lot of stuff during the week too, but I'm usually listening to an audiobook with that. I don't do that when it's the weekend because I don't want to like ignore my family for an audiobook because they would be mad at me. So hold on, let me grab Golden Sun and see where the heck I'm at. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I have not made any headway in Malice, which is the book that I'm reading both with my husband and my father-in-law, and for the Ketchup Book Club. I haven't made any headway on that. I will, but I've got until like the end of the year, until next year. That seems like a long time. It's not, but I've got a little while longer, so I'll catch up on that eventually. Right now is not the time. I've got too many like epic-y fantasies or like fantasy equivalents that are going on right now too. Too many like epic-y stories going on right now to kind of be catching up with that one. I'm slow. My brain is slow. Forgive me. Anyways, so update. Golden Sun, the sequel. I'm on chapter 9, which is page 66. The book is 450 pages, so like I haven't made that much progress. It's not that much progress at all. But this story is definitely starting off different. So in Red Rising, like I said, there was a lot of fantasy elements to it. They were on a planet, very survival. There were fortresses and fighting and like a lot of like medieval style like imagery mixed in with like the science fiction elements of it, which is why I kind of call it a fantasy dystopian sci-fi. This one so far is lacking that, but I'm not mad about it. It's very sci-fi right now. So it opens up with a battle. They're at the academy and they're doing like basically mock space battles and stuff like that. Darrow, who's the main character, in the last book he kind of left off like the top dog, like the head of his class. Like everyone was talking about how amazing he was. It seems like in the beginning of this book that's not the case. Like he's kind of fallen from favor and he's trying to navigate how to stay alive because Cassie's family still wants to kill him, and it was Mustang's family that kind of was keeping him alive, and he's just kind of fallen out of grace with everybody. He ended up losing. He thought he was going to win that space battle, and we all thought he won too, and then out of nowhere he ended up losing like last minute and a bunch of people died. It was pretty terrible. After that, there's rumors going around about him and people are just talking about like his lowborn. There's someone who can't attack him physically because they will lose is attacking him gossip wise. He's becoming kind of having a negative image. So that's kind of where we're at in the story so far. Is he's kind of fallen from grace. He's trying to figure out what to do next. You know, the Sons of Ares are coming back around finally because they've been absent the whole time. And, you know, so far he's teaming up with some very unlikely people. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll probably end up listening to more of this tomorrow or when I'm feeling better. But right now I am currently I'm 100 pages in, I think. I'm 102 pages into Castle of the Cursed. And this one is super good. I hadn't heard a lot about it. And that's what I love about these subscriptions is I haven't heard a lot about certain books, and they will do these books, and even though they don't get a lot of publicity, the books end up being really, really good. Like, I will still, to this day, remember Only a Monster by Vanessa. Is Vanessa's last name. Vanessa Len. So Only a Monster came in subscription boxes like a couple of years ago. I think it was like the first year I had subscription boxes, and I got it in 3 different boxes. I got it in the Bookish box, which I have since canceled because Lord, Owl Crate, and then Fairy Loot. And Only a Monster is like one of the most underrated series, and it's like one of my favorite like YA series of all time. I'm still waiting on the 3rd book to come out. The 2nd book is so good. But those are the kind of instances why I love like my subscription boxes, is because they give these books that aren't as popular like a place. And I don't know if I probably would have picked this one up just because of what it, the title, the Castle of the Cursed or whatever. That just sounds creepy and right up my alley. But I don't know if I would have just bought it outright or if I would have waited or something. But they give these books kind of a platform, and I love them for it. So anyways, back to Castle of the Cursed. So I'm 102 pages in, and it's got Mexican Gothic vibes, but there's vampires. But the vampire isn't like, there's one vampire, and it's not like the vampire is like the main focus. He's the main love interest, I believe. I think the vampire aspect is like a secondary plot line, but it's more like this mysterious castle, this town with secrets. It's interesting. So the main character, Estella, her and her parents, they're like travelers. Like, they don't sit in one place for very long. She had no place that she called home for years. One day they're in New York, they're on the subway, and something occurs, some sort of magical situation occurs, and everyone in the train car dies except for her. She sees like this mysterious like smoke right before, and like this flash of like silver. Everybody dies, but she survives. In that train car, her parents were included in the death. So she was in the foster system for a little while, and then she received notice that she has an aunt in Spain, which is actually where she's from. She's a citizen of Spain. Her parents just kind of ran from Spain and kept her on the run for years. So she goes back to Spain to live with her aunt, who lives in the family castle, and it is a legit castle from like the 1300s or before. I think like the earliest like documentation they have, because she does some research on it, is like the 1300s, but could be older. Anyways, the town is small. Her family runs the clinic. They have everything that they need for the most part, and they're hours away from anybody else. She's starting to discover weird things about this town, like the founding families of that town are the only families in that town, and none of them have ever left. Like, everything just keeps getting passed down line by line by line. Her family funds everything, like funds maintenance on the town, electricity, like water, like all of the services. Like, her family pays for everything in exchange for a donation of blood every year, or a couple times a year. And it's really weird. This town is just really suspicious, which is why I'm saying like it has the Mexican Gothic vibes, where like everything just seems kind of suspicious and secretive, and like people are keeping these secrets and we don't know what's going on. Hopefully the ending is not like the ending in Mexican Gothic, because that was terrible. That shit came out of left field, and I was just like that was most disappointing ending ever. I think it was more disappointing than the end of like the Shadow and Bone series, and that's saying something, because the Lord knows I hated Mal. But anyways, I digress. So right now I'm at a point where Estella is starting to unravel some of the secrets. She's trying to understand why she's here, why she left. She has memories of being in this castle as a child. Something happened, she's not sure what, that caused her mom and dad to snatch her up or run to the US and basically hide out, just like moving from location to location and never staying in one place for very long. So it's like something was chasing her. That's kind of where we are. So it's not a very long book. I think it's like 280 pages. So I'm about a third of the way through. And since I'm not feeling the greatest, I'm going to keep my happy ass in bed and just read. I think the most I'm gonna do is like make some tea, and that's about it. I'm gonna make some tea and read my book. So that's where we're at. Okay, hopefully I'll finish it by the end of the day, and then I can give you more of an update on that. Yeah, all right. So I had to take a pause, right? I had to take a pause because Estella is pulling a dumb move right now. And so there's this kid, Felipe, right? And like, he's her tutor so that she can learn Spanish because she goes to Spain. She doesn't know Spanish. Her family never taught her. So he's her tutor. He's really interested in the castle and her family, and he knows stuff. And I feel like he knows too much and that he's using her for like some negative agenda she's not aware of. And her aunt specifically said, do not let anybody in this house. Like, don't. And it seems like the house doesn't want anybody in it. Like, there's this one scene where like the doors are banging and everything, and I don't think it was anybody in the house doing it. I think the house or the castle was doing this, right? And this kid keeps guilt tripping her, manipulating her, all this other stuff to get into this house. And right now, like, she's like, okay, he's in the house. She like shows him around. He's like, okay, it's time to go. And he takes off running and like makes it a game, like they're chasing each other or whatever. But I know he's using it as an excuse to not leave the freaking house. I can't stand this kid so much. Like, I want to fight him. I want to fight a lot of characters. You'll know that this is a trend about me, apparently. But I don't like this kid at all. And I have the strongest feeling he's up to something terrible. So I had to stop because she's still being nice and she's still playing along. She's like, okay. She's not realizing, like, what he's doing. Like, she doesn't see the manipulation. She's just like, oh, yeah. I don't like this kid. Felipe, I don't like you. Okay? I don't like you. All right. Anyways, I just needed to take a breath. Set my book down for a second. I figured I'd update y'all. I don't like this kid. I'm gonna go back to reading now. I might go get myself a snack first though. Yeah, I'm gonna go get myself a snack and then I'm gonna keep reading. Because I don't like this kid. I don't like it. Okay, so light is fading slowly, so I wanted to get this done. This vlog did not have a wrap up for a while. It took me about 2 weeks to bring the wrap up to you guys. I had some personal things going on, some sad things, and then Thanksgiving rolled around and I was hosting for 16 people. And a few of those people were staying with us from out of town, so I've just been really busy and didn't get a chance to update, but I wanted to give you guys an update to kind of end this vlog off. I finished Castle of the Cursed by Romina Garber. This was a book that I got in an Owl Crate YA, I believe. I have to start putting the little cards in these so I remember which one it is, but it was an Owl Crate YA. This book was very reminiscent of Mexican Gothic. It was like, it had the same kind of vibe in the beginning, you know, rather than Mexico though, it's set in Spain. The main character, her family dies suddenly and what seems to be magically, and she is then moved to Spain to live with her estranged aunt in their family home, which ends up being a castle. And it had all the right creepy vibes, and there is this vampire who is living in the house, but he's not fully corporeal in the house. It's very good, but very strange, like Mexican Gothic, where at first you're like, oh, this is wonderful, this is great. It's got the vibes, it's got the creepy castle, it's got the mystery, what's going on. And then things take a turn for the weird. The vampire was kind of out of place, but then he wasn't at the same time. Once you get to the end and it takes that like sharp turn left, it all makes sense, but it makes sense in a way that doesn't make sense, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but the story is good. I think I gave it like a 4-star, not 100%. I don't entirely recall. The writing was good. The vibes were good. The romance between the vampire and the main character was a little strange. So the romance, like the actual like romantic scenes, their relationship built the way it should, right? It wasn't like an insta love or anything like that, which I was down for. But the actual romantic scenes were very strange. They're YA scenes, so it was fade to black. But they seemed like they were just put in for absolutely no reason. Like the scenes did not fit. And they were fade to black, but it's still something that I don't know if I would consider YA writing, because maybe I'm just so like jaded that I knew what was going on, but it just, I don't know. The romance scenes in this were strange. They didn't fit, and I didn't like how they were written or played out. It was a very strange situation, but otherwise, the overall story was not bad. Not bad. Again, if you like Mexican Gothic and you just kind of want like a YA version of it, you would probably like this. There's foiling on this, so it keeps like catching in the light. But you would probably like this. Again, the ending gets weird. The ending gets very weird, but it's a really pretty edition. And then the other book that I finished was Golden Sun. And I'm still not over this. Did I even finish writing my review of this? I don't even know if I finished writing my review of this. I need to go back and check. I think it's probably just pending somewhere, or I have to rewrite it, because I'm speechless. This series is so freaking good. It's so freaking good. I don't understand why it took me so long to like pick it back up. And I'm so infamous for that. Like, I will start a good series and I'll be like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I'll never finish it. And I don't know what my problem is. I need to catch up. I did it with the Poppy Wars too. Poppy Wars was amazing. That was a book that I had to decompress from for a while. And then I just never picked it back up to finish the other two books, which I own. I just have not read them. So I'm not going to let this one fall to the wayside. I do need to decompress after this though. This was a lot. I do need to decompress a bit. So I'm probably gonna read some romances or like romanticies or something. But basically this is a sequel to Red Rising. The Red Rising follows Darrow. He is a young boy. It's kind of like it's fantasy, sci-fi, dystopian. So let me start there. It's got elements of all three. So you have Darrow. He's the main character. He's born on Mars. Him and his people believe that they are pioneers who are mining this material helium-3 to help terraform the solar system so that humans have the ability to leave the dying planet Earth and, expand out, kind of save the race sort of a situation. But it turns out that he's not like part of this like pioneer group, that they are just being kept as slaves. After he finds out, he joins a rebellion group. He joins a rebellion group that basically saved his life. They turn him into a gold. So the system is like a color-coded system. Golds are at the top, reds are at the bottom. There's grays, blues, greens, oranges, pinks, violets, all of that in between. He goes from the bottom up to the top. And he is basically sent in to infiltrate the system from the inside and tear it down. In the first book, he basically earns status by basically winning the top of the Academy for the Golds. In this book, he kind of falls from grace. Then he shoots himself back up, and then the end happens. Oh God. Sorry, the dog is barking. This series, I can't even talk about it. Like, I haven't felt this way when reading a book since Empire of Storms. Like, that's the end of Empire of Storms is how this book made me feel. This is one of those series where it's like, one, don't get attached to anybody. Please don't, because there's a chance they're not going to be here. It's also it's just so anxiety ridden because you don't know what's going to happen next. And the emotions, because Darrow has to play this like uppity, rich, snooty, I'm better than everybody, high society guy, but really he's like this like strong, like sweet boy. Oh my God, it's so rough. It's so rough. I need to decompress after this for sure. Like, it's gonna take me a minute to feel like a normal human again after this one. Part of me wants to jump right into Morning. I think it's Morning Star is the third one. But I don't think that my blood pressure could handle that. I don't. I listened to this one and I've been listening to it and it's been great. The audio is amazing, by the way. It got down to like the last hour or so. Probably about 2 hours. The last 2 hours, the big battle like concluded, but there was still 2 hours of the book left. And I'm like, that's never a good sign. When the climax of the story has like finished and there's still like that much of the book left, there's probably like 120 pages-ish or so. Yeah, whenever that happens, you know that something bad is gonna happen. And oh my God, it was so stressful. So I put on the audio and I built some Legos. I didn't film myself building any Legos, but next time I will. But I built some Legos. I built like the Harry Potter, the Chamber of Secrets set. I have a whole bunch that I'm just like stocking up. I didn't build them before I moved, knowing that moving Legos is the most dangerous thing in the entire world. So now I'm building them, so I just listened to it. Oh, it was bad. So bad. Oh, but it's so good. It's so freaking good. I'm sorry. I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it. So I'm not going to be reading Morning Star right away. I'm going to take a break and read something a little less like heart-wrenching, and then I will get back to it. But for now, that is it. I wanted to say thank you guys for sticking with me. I'm sorry this is a little late again. I had a lot of sad personal things going on. I couldn't record, couldn't really function for about a week and a half there, and then Thanksgiving came through, and then now I'm wrapping it up. So I thank you guys for sticking with me, and thank you for watching my video. If you did like it, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.